Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and I have a diamond in the rough for you guys to meet today. His name is Trey Vaval. He is a cornerback and return specialist out of Minnesota State Mankato. Nice to have you on, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, a player who I think gets a lot of really respect as a return specialist, but again, playing the cornerback position, originally at Missouri Western, and has been an All-American at his position. So, but Trey, go ahead and give us a little bit of your background. Tell us where you're from, and we'll walk through your journey.
I was born out in Kansas City, Missouri, and then throughout my childhood, I went back and forth from living in Kansas City and Denver, Colorado. So I claim both as home. When I'm in Denver, I say I'm from Kansas City. When I'm in Kansas City, I just tell people I'm from Denver. So those both are home, and yeah.
Gotcha. Well, according to your profile, they have you as a guy from Missouri, and I'm assuming that's mainly because that's where you played your high school ball, right? So,
Yeah, I finished my high school career out
uh,
there.
so Blue Springs High School in Blue Springs, Missouri. What do you remember most about your time? I know it's we're a little removed from it, but talk to me a little bit about any memories you have from those days.
High school football was a fun time. I would say probably the most memorable moments I can is when I scored my first touchdown. We had our middle school back in the back of the end zone, and just scoring that, just seeing all the old middle school coaches I know and them kids back there was a high moment. And even we have a cheerleading coach back then at that time. She was all real close with her. Uh, yeah, I miss them days for sure.
Gotcha. So back in those days, were you playing both ways, man? You playing some receiver and corner, I would imagine, right?
I only played receiver a couple of plays. I was just mostly corner and returning the ball.
Okay. Well, I think again, people know you mostly as a corner slash return specialist, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. How long have you played the game of football?
I've been playing since I was like 4 years old. Yeah,
Got-
about
Gotcha.
19 years now, 20 years. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's now, I mean, obviously it's embedded in your system.
Oh
It's
yeah,
something
for
that
sure.
is a part of you there for sure. Uh, Growing up, I mean, again, you said, Missouri, went back and forth a little bit to Colorado, but who were you a big fan of growing up? And like when you were a kid back in the day, like was there some particular guy, maybe perhaps at your position that you looked up to?
For sure, like Champ Bailey and like Devin Hester. I mean, pure lockdown, and then a dude that just got the ball in his hands. You know, he's gonna do something special with it. So for sure, both of those players.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Devin Hester, now Hall of Famer, which is
Yeah,
kind of
but
nice to have a guy who's mainly a specialist go out there and compete. Mention again, Champ Bailey. I love that guy. I wish we never would have traded him, but that's just another story for another day.
yeah.
But hey Trey, obviously some guys there you looked up to, but again, you turned things out in your own way and became your own athlete. Um, Interestingly enough, man, the one thing that I was able to pull up with regards to you as a high school athlete is you actually turned out to be a darn good track and field athlete too. So,
Yeah.
give me some sense of those days and what you remember about them.
Um, Back in high school, track I would say was probably the funnest time of the year. My track coach, Coach Quarter, he was a guru with track. He knew every little thing about track, and just being out there at track practice was just real fun. I don't know. The track atmosphere back then compared to football was real different. So I say track was for sure probably the funnest time of the year being in school.
Well, let's be real. I mean, weather's a little different. Again, if you're doing spring, I remember when I was doing winter track, our coach used to call it winter track because we're
Yeah.
outside in the elements running. But of course, for you, spring spring track, and some of the numbers I was able to pull up for you uh, were really good. About a 10.8 in the 100 meter,
Yes, sir.
and 22.3 in the 200. A whole lot faster than I could run those damn things. And then, of course, also a long jumper. So, which of those events did you love the most, or did you like them all equally?
I would say I like the 4x1 the most. Just come out of the blocks and just being able to hand the baton out to one of my homies back then. It was a fun time. I was all state in long jump, but I really only long jump for like 5 weeks
Hmm.
out of that season because I just wasn't a jumper. I was just purely a sprinter back then. So that was a surprise for us.
I mean, definitely something that obviously translates to the game of football. Talking a little bit about the 4x1s and stuff like that, those were a whole lot of fun. Obviously, need to have a whole lot of trust in your teammates there, need to be able to get that pass off cleanly. You definitely don't want to drop that baton. So that was something that,
Nah.
coaches preach, man. You do that, like, I don't know. Sometimes you're disqualified. It depends on the tournament. So, but anyways,
Yeah, yeah.
cool. So Trey, let's talk about your journey a little bit more. So, I mean, after your time there at Blue Springs High School, you end up going to Missouri Western. Talk a little bit about that run for you.
Basically out of high school, at first I was gonna go to Minnesota State, but had some family issues with my mom and stuff, so we thought it was best for me to go to Missouri Western. When I first went up there on my visit, the atmosphere was cool. Um, I had a coach back in high school, J.C. Horn, who actually is in the league. One of his uncles coached me in high school, and then his other uncle coached me at Missouri Western. So I was like, this is for sure a good fit for me to come. Uh, just being on that visit was good, around a good guy, some good guys, and just the best option for me at the time.
I'm trying to remember, was it Sam Webb that was the corner that came out of Missouri Western? I mean, you guys still tight or what?
Yeah, that's my dog. Yeah, that should be my roommate. Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely phenomenal athlete, making it work for himself in the pros. I know we had him at the Hula Bowl a couple seasons ago, so I mean, definitely a great talent. Obviously, able to you know, I guess play alongside him and learn from each other. So, you have any stories to tell on that one, or can you tell on it? I guess is the question.
Um, I'll give us one little story. I would say probably like my first away game. He was my roommate that whole year. But the first time we pulled up to the hotel, I was like a freshman in shock. Oh, we get to be in the hotel, whatever. But as soon as we get into the hotel room, me and him are jumping on the beds, and it's just so funny to think about it. Cause Sam is like 6'1.5", like 200 pounds, just a big dude. And it was just funny to see him jumping on the bed like a little kid. So that was for sure a funny moment.
That's a good memory. I love that one.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously saw a lot of great success at Missouri Western for yourself, being named an All-American return specialist. So, talk about what that means to you, dude. I mean, obviously, you're getting this recognition as really one of the best, returners in the country. But talk about that.
Um, at the moment when I was there, I was just there just to play football, man. I was the only freshman playing, so I was just making sure I was just doing my job and just having fun at the end of the day. I had a dude named like Arnold Creighton came up to me. He was like, "Do you know who was in this locker before you?" I was like, "No, I don't." He's like, "It was a special man, so you better make sure you fill that role." So after he told me that, I just made sure I just locked in and just did my job and did as much as I can to help the team out.
I mean, special teams obviously something you need to really, you know, get that taken care of me, of course, with you as the guy, you know, as a returner, you need to have a certain kind of mentality. What were what I guess have the coaches been preaching to you as a special teamer that you still kind of hold on to?
Um, just make something happen. I mean, there's not really much else for you to do. they're trying to come take your head off. Just secure that ball. When you see some daylight, just make something happen. And that special team spark brings a different type of vibe to the team. I mean, like interception help, touchdowns help. But when you have something on special teams crazy, that momentum maybe from the other team can flip. So that's for sure like a big part of the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's just face it. I mean, you open up the game with like a really great return. I mean, that sets the momentum. That sets the momentum, maybe perhaps for the whole game, which
Yeah,
is
sure.
really nice and especially great if you can take it all the way. So,
Yeah,
a
for
whole
sure.
lot of fun doing that one. Most electrifying play in all of sports. I don't care what anyone says. That's just my opinion. So,
No, fact.
um, all right, man. Well, obviously, able to take care of business there at Missouri Western, but of course, didn't stay there. Ended up going to Minnesota State Mankato. How did that transfer happen for you?
Just at the time, just battling a lot of mental health issues, and I really didn't know at the time what that was, and just hopped in the portal and let God take care of the rest, and ended up at Mankato, and that school helped me a lot with everything mental wise, physically wise, emotionally wise, on how to control my emotions, just a lot of different things within the game. So yeah, it is that mental health that I was going through. I didn't really know about at the time. Was really kind of the big uh reason why I hopped in the portal and went to Minnesota State. My man.
No, you're good. So you had mentioned before they were actually one of the schools that wanted you originally out of high school. Was the same staff there, like when you got the offer? I guess in what was it, 2022?
Yes, sir. It was the same staff. So at a high school, the DC there, he recruited me at a high school. The tight ends coach that was there, he recruited me too, and the DB coach that was still there. They all still there. So it was all the same staff. Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's talk a little bit more about Minnesota State because obviously that's where you ended your collegiate journey. But Minnesota State, really good program. If people don't know, I mean, Minnesota State, at least over the past several seasons, able to get themselves in the playoffs. That's almost a gimme. Let's not jinx it, of course, but I mean, they're always in the mix, for championships. Let's be real. And so you being a part of that really tradition there, maybe a little different. I don't know, but I mean, you guys were able to string together a lot of great wins. Let's just kind of look back at this past season. What did you get most out of this last season there that you had for Mankato?
Just learning how to deal with a lot of different things. Learning how to deal with the good that's coming with everything, and learning how to deal with the stress, the bad that's coming with everything. Being that senior leader comes with a lot. So just making sure I'm coming in every day really dialed in and not stressing out, you know, having scouts come to practice and seeing me, and just like a lot of different things were playing a role into the season. So it was just like I have to make sure I'm hitting on all cylinders and just making sure I'm just being myself and not getting too high in emotion and not getting too low in emotion, and just playing ball at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about obviously the scouts coming in, watching you and some of your teammates, and let's just face it. I mean, I think one of the things that really separates you is your speed. I don't know how fast you're going to run, but I know you're going to run very well for people at pro day and such. But I mean, we're talking at least 4.4s, if not better. Let's be real. But with all the scouts there, man, like, how did it feel to finally be in that position, man? That maybe I can take this to the next level. I can be an NFL guy like a Devin Hester. Um, when did it occur to you that you could be a pro at this game?
I would say probably back my freshman year when I was at Missouri Western. Like you said, Sam Webb, he would have scouts come to practice all the time. So it was like seeing them there, I always like make sure like they would see me when they were at practice. They probably didn't know who I was, but in my head, I'm like, oh, I just did something at practice. They're gonna know who I am one day, and they're gonna be here for me. So for sure, back when I was a freshman, just seeing them come there for Sam, I was just like, yeah. they're for sure gonna come back one day for me. So I made sure that was happening.
Yeah, there's probably a couple scouts back then that wrote your name down, said revisit it in a few years, you know. So
Yeah.
obviously you're in that
Oh yeah.
position, where a lot of guys like you. You are a legitimate pro prospect. I mean, a fast guy who adds a great deal of experience overall, and a great special teamer there for sure. So let's walk through some of your best memories though over these past several seasons. Give me one at Missouri Western and maybe another there at Mankato.
My very first college play ever. We're playing our rivals at home with Northwest. I get a kickoff return. I see daylight. I took her about 81, around 81 yards. So my very first play at college was crazy. So that was for sure probably the craziest moment. It wasn't even a touchdown at Missouri Western.
Mm.
And then I'd probably say my very last play at Minnesota State was a kickoff return touchdown. So just starting my career off right and then going out right. It was crazy, you know.
Awesome. Again, some great memories there for you at really both institutions. I guess the question now, Trey, is what are you doing? What are you doing right now? I mean, obviously you're training somewhere, man. Where are you at? Are you with any particular trainer or talk through what's going on right now?
Yeah, I'm out here in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, small town. We out here training with Terry Grissetti at Grissetti Performance. All the young guys come here and train if this is what y'all want to do. But yeah, we out here in the country putting in work, man, just away from everything, getting our mind right. Not at no flashy facilities nowhere, you know. But yeah, we just out here in Pennsylvania getting it in.
Gotcha. And I know you're training for your pro day here coming up soon. When is that pro day for you?
March 14th.
March 14th. Gonna be here before we know it, guys.
Yes, sir.
Certainly something to mark the calendar for, and wait to see how fast this guy's gonna run because I know he's gonna blow it out of the water. So Trey, let's take a moment to really meet you off the field a little bit. So, talk to me a little bit about yourself. Anything that you feel people need to know, whether it be hobbies, interests, other passions. If you have perhaps any special talents, um, anything that you feel people might be interested in, dude. Just give us a little something.
Anything crazy, but I would say they're not nothing really crazy about me. I would say I try to teach myself learn how to learn sign language throughout last season. I saw DK Metcalf doing it when he was scoring touchdowns, so I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So I started trying to teach myself little stuff here and there.
So, how's that working? Do you got like at least the alphabet down?
Nah, I don't know. I know like a couple of letters, but I just know like just a couple things, you know.
Okay. Well, I mean, anything that I guess you can pick up on certainly helps. Can you speak any other language though?
Uh, I can speak a little French. I took it in high school, but not a lot of it. Not fluent or nothing.
Yeah, dude, I took that. Can't I can remember maybe a couple phrases. Yeah, it would take me forever to jog that memory because it's been so damn long. So,
No idea.
um, anything else about yourself that we can maybe get out of you in this thing? Give me a couple quick things. Favorite breakfast cereal?
Favorite breakfast cereal for sure, Frosted Flakes. Yeah,
Frosted Flakes.
yeah.
Do you have like maybe a I don't know, like a favorite like treat or something? Like when you talk about like I don't know, you're just not like the Frosted Flakes or anything, but like
Like some candy or something.
yeah. Give me something.
Reese's Pieces and then the little lightsaber gummies. Those are for sure my favorites.
All right. Favorite movie,
Favorite movie.
at
Um,
least at the moment. You know what I mean?
I would probably say Shatas. It's like a Jamaican gangster movie. I would say probably that or Scarface. I like Scarface a lot.
Gotta go with at least one classic there. So,
Nah, for sure.
um, trying to see if there's anything more I can get out of you, at least non-football related. Um, obviously at two separate institutions, man. You finished up a degree.
Yes, sir. My major was applied leadership. So
Gotcha. And so, obviously, with what degree that you have, let's just see life beyond football, whenever that's going to be for you. What do you see yourself doing?
just sticking around the game, like Oliver Davis, OD3, defensive back coach, is training dudes like that, like kids and professional players how to play corner and teaching them how to have that instinct as a returner. Just sticking around the game and helping these young kids perfect their craft. That's really what I want to do after this football stuff's all said and done later. A couple years, yeah,
Cool. So maybe as some sort of a coach or mentor or something, is that what we're
yeah,
maybe perhaps looking at, like way down the line?
yes, sir.
All right, cool. Um, All right, dude, we've been at it now for a while. Do want to, of course, wrap things up with you. I mean, again, we've talked about, the fact that, man, you've been an all-conference athlete. You've been an All-American. We're looking at a very fast guy who can be an exceptional return specialist and also go out there and really lock things down there as a corner. Um, and so now, I guess, we got scouts that are wondering maybe I should give this guy an opportunity, maybe not. But I want to give you the last word here, and tell them what they'd be missing if they didn't give you that opportunity, dude. So go ahead and close this out with your pitch.
I mean, I'm a D2 guy. Um, I'm hungry. You know, I got a lot to prove. Everyone sees me as a return specialist, and I can understand that. But at the end of the day, I do want to play corner, and I got a lot to prove at playing corner. I don't want to be just seen as a one position type of guy. So at the end of the day, I'm a D2 guy that wants to show what I got. A lot of these D1 guys, they've had it a lot throughout their whole career, whether that's having supplements or a lot of different things at the facilities. And, as D2 guys, we don't get as much as those guys, but we cherish everything we have and we have a lot to prove. And I'd like to be able to show what I can do and show them that I'm hungry. And, you know,
Yeah, definitely a little bit of a different mentality, of course, as a small school player. But Trey, let's not sell yourself short. I do think that one of the things that helps you is some blazing freaking speed. Let's just be real with that, and uh, that could be utilized in a lot of different ways. And that is something that is hard to teach. And so some team is going to fall in love with you, man. I don't know who that's going to be, but you're going to get your opportunity here very soon. But do want to wish you very best of luck in all this process. All right.
appreciate that. Yep.
All right. We got with us Trey Vaval. He is a cornerback and specialist team, return specialist out of Minnesota State Mankato. Check this guy out.